Donald Trump says he's cracked the code on autism. Decades of research, billions of dollars, thousands of scientists wasted. Because according to Trump, the answer was hiding in your medicine cabinet this whole time. Not genetics, not brain development, not even complicated. Nah, just Tylenol. That's right, America's president stood in the Oval Office next to Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and Dr. Oz and announced that autism is basically your mum's fault for having a headache one time. Here's how this week's absolute circus went down. Medical history at a memorial. Trump hyped this breakthrough at Charlie Kirk's memorial/political rally/light show because look, nothing says scientific rigor like using a eulogy for your dead friend to start talking about autism.
And tomorrow we're going to have one of the biggest announcements, really medically, I think, in the history of our country. I think we found an answer to autism. How about that?
We've got researchers working decades on this, but apparently all they needed was Trump, a microphone, and RFK Jr. just saying shit. The announcement, don't take Tylenol. So, the big reveal, standing in the Oval Office flanked by RFK Jr. and Dr. Oz, yes, really, Dr. Oz, and other officials, Trump declared.
So taking Tylenol is not good. All right, I'll say it, it's not good. All pregnant women should talk to their doctors for more information about limiting the use of this medication.
Then he doubled down.
Don't take it. Don't take it. There's no downside in not taking it.
And he claimed,
first, effective immediately, the FDA will be notifying physicians that the use of acetaminophen, which is basically commonly known as Tylenol, during pregnancy can be associated with a very increased risk of autism.
Cool. So autism isn't anything other than it's your mum's fault for taking Panadol once during her third trimester, apparently. Thanks, science guy. And because the universe has a sense of humor, here's Trump struggling to even pronounce the word.
Acetaminophen. Is that okay?
I mean, look, I can hardly pronounce it either, but I never said I had the answers, and I'm not the president of nothing. The science, or lack of it. Now, if you're wondering whether this is true, it's not. A 2024 Swedish study of 2.4 million births found no relationship between Tylenol in pregnancy and autism, ADHD, or intellectual disability. The American College of Obstetrics and Gynecologists says Tylenol is one of the only safe painkillers for pregnancy. Tylenol's maker had something to say. We believe independent sound science clearly shows that taking acetaminophen does not cause autism. I think I could acetaminophen? Look, there are reviews suggesting maybe, possibly, in some cases, but that is a very long way from Trump's cause and effect certainty. This is like seeing a guy sneeze near you once and declaring sneezes cause breakups. But wait, there's more. The White House didn't just blame Tylenol. They also offered a cure, glucoverin, an old cancer drug, is being hyped as a treatment for autism. Small studies suggest it might help some autistic kids with speech, which is promising, but hardly a miracle. Experts warned, I worry that it feels like everything is now tainted that comes out of the current administration. You can't just roll this out like a new iPhone and expect people to trust you. You can't just make shit up. Like, there is 100% still going to be autistic people after the inevitable Tylenol ban. So what even is the point? Blame the mothers. Here's where it just goes from weird to gross, because really the Trump administration's big medical breakthrough is just blaming women. My mum had a headache in 2007 and now I'm autistic is basically the logic. Families don't need guilt trips, they need services, respite, accessible therapies. Instead, Trump's telling mums they caused it because they took a penny D for back pain once. Allison Singer from the Autism Science Foundation called this not scientifically based and misleading to families who deserve clear, more factually based information. And autistic people themselves are furious. Catherine Leah-Tang of Canada said, all this does is dramatically set us back. It doesn't provide any supports, it only places the blame on women and mothers. But yeah, the official White House position on autism is basically, women, you did this. Enter RFK Jr., the whale guy. And then there's RFK Jr., the man steering this Titanic of stupidity. He's the health secretary somehow, a lifelong anti-vax guy, total frickin' freak, and yes, the same dude who once cut off a whale's head. If you're thinking, that sounds like a man who definitely understands autism genetics, congrats, you're Donald Trump. Back in April, RFK promised,
by September, we will know what has caused the autism epidemic, and we'll be able to eliminate those exposures.
Something actual scientists have been working on for years, but yeah, whalehead guy, he's gonna solve it. Ugh. And now, surprise, surprise, he points to Tylenol. First it was vaccines, then environmental toxins, now headaches. The through line, always mothers, always blame. Meanwhile, geneticists keep repeating, genetics underlie about 95% of autism cases. The evidence is overwhelming. But sure, let's listen to the guy who plays Dr. Pseudoscience in every congressional hearing. Politics and distraction. Let's be totally real, we know this isn't about medicine, it's about politics, and it's about distraction. While Americans are dealing with real problems like skyrocketing grocery bills, multiple wars, and a healthcare system held together with frickin' duct tape, Trump and RFK Jr. are spending press conferences telling women not to take Tylenol. NBC reported Trump even said, "We won't let it happen anymore." Like autism is some crime wave he can stop with an executive order. Oh, what's next? A border wall for Tylenol tablets? It's a shiny object, a way to look like they're solving something big while ignoring and also creating actual problems. The community speaks. In a shocking twist, families aren't buying it. Rachel Snyder, whose 3-year-old son has profound autism, said, "Using words like curing it or finding the cause or preventing it gives people the wrong thing to focus on. Because instead of trying to support your child, it makes people believe there is a way to fundamentally change who your children are." And Mum Shannon Burley said, "To hear about this bogus connection makes me so angry. It makes me feel like they're trying to say it's my fault and that I could have prevented it. And that's just so wrong." That is the real impact though. Stigma, shame, guilt, dropped right on parents who already have enough to deal with. But here's the reality. Autism is complex, probably largely genetic and not caused by your mom taking Tylenol. There's no miracle cure. What autistic people and their families need is support, acceptance, and resources. What they got was Trump yelling at pregnant women, RFK Jr. chasing whale-brained conspiracy theories, and Dr. Oz nodding in the background like this was an episode of his shitty talk show. And honestly, curing autism? You really want a world without train guys? Where are you gonna get your train intel, Donald? If you want more stories that pick apart this kind of nonsense and more jokes at the expense of billionaires, grifters, and whale decapitators, hit subscribe. We cover this circus 5 days a week, and trust me, you want to get some popcorn. It just gets more crazy. Bye.